My sister-in-law destroyed my dying mother's last gift to me, so I exposed her secret that ruined her perfect image. My brother Tom and I used to be thick as thieves. Even after he married Sarah 5 years ago, we still grabbed beers every Friday and complained about our fantasy football teams. But everything changed when Mom got diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer last year. I moved back home to help while Tom stayed an hour away with Princess Sarah, and she made her feelings known from day one. According to her, I was being way too dramatic about the whole dying mother situation. When I suggested Tom and I rotate overnight hospital stays, she rolled her eyes and told him I was trying to monopolize Mom's final days, like I was hoarding a dying woman. Tom, ever the doormat, just nodded and said I was being too emotional, that our mother, who could barely lift a spoon, needed space. But I bit my tongue because the last thing Mom needed was us fighting, so I stayed every night. I brought her those little butterscotch puddings she liked and read her romance novels she pretended were just fiction. Sarah popped in maybe once a week, scrolling through Instagram in the corner. Tom came more often, but Sarah always had an emergency. Her mom needed groceries, her friend was in crisis. The dog looked sad. Nurses started calling me the good son, which made me uncomfortable, but they weren't wrong. Mom passed away while holding my hand. She'd been slipping in and out, but right before the end, she pressed her wedding ring into my palm, the thin gold band Dad had saved for back in '71. She whispered she wanted me to have it, to remember that love lasts forever. I ugly cried right there in front of the hospice nurse. When I called Tom, Sarah answered his phone, said, "Oh, that's sad," and added they'd come by later to handle the arrangements. Like our mom was a package. The will was simple, house gets sold and split, and we each got some keepsakes. Then the lawyer read that Mom's ring was to go to me, Jacob, as a reminder of enduring love. I watched Sarah's face scrunch like she'd eaten a lemon. 2 days after the funeral, they ambushed me in my kitchen. Sarah launched into this speech about how, as the only daughter-in-law, the ring should go to her. Said it meant more to a married woman than a single guy who'd shove it in a drawer. I stayed calm. Told her my mom gave it to me with her dying breath. That's when Hurricane Sarah hit. She screamed that I manipulated a dying woman, that I guilt-tripped her with all those hospital nights. Said I poisoned Mom against the real family, meaning her. Tom jumped in yelling I was stealing family heirlooms and being selfish. Like always. Always. Like I hadn't just spent 6 months in hospital chairs. I told them to leave. The next few days were icy. I was stuck at their place while we sorted Mom's things for the estate sale. I kept the ring in its blue velvet box on the guest dresser. Every morning I looked at it and remembered her. That Friday, I went to grab it before heading to the cemetery. The box felt light. It was empty. I tore the room apart, then ran downstairs. Sarah was sipping coffee like nothing happened. I asked if she'd seen Mom's ring. She didn't even look up. Said number. I asked again. She offered pancakes. I blocked her path. "Where's my mother's ring, Sarah?" That's when the sobbing started. She confessed. She took it to get resized for her finger because she knew I'd realized she deserved it more. The jeweler tried to clean it. The old gold cracked. The ring was destroyed. She had the audacity to say I was selfish for keeping it locked away, that Mom would have wanted her memory shared. I couldn't speak. I simply walked out. Tom blew up my phone very quickly, but I ignored him. I drove straight to Mom's grave and sat there for hours in the rain. That night I couldn't sleep. I went into Tom's office looking for insurance papers. I found credit card statements instead. Page after page. Designer bags, diamonds, spas, Botox, thousands of dollars. For a year, Tom said his business was struggling, that he couldn't help with Mom's bills. I was draining my savings while Sarah was getting hot stone massages. I made copies of everything. The memorial was the next day at Mom's church. Sarah got up to give a speech about family values. Said Mom taught us to support each other. Watching her fake cry over a woman she barely visited broke me. I stood up. Said I had something to share about family values. Mentioned the $47,000 in shopping sprees on Tom's business card. I read it out. $3,000 at Nordstrom the day Mom entered hospice. $1,500 at a day spa the week she died. $800 dinner while I fed Mom ice chips. Tom looked gutted. Sarah shrieked I was making it up. I looked Tom in the eye and said, "Your business isn't failing because of the economy. It's your wife's shopping addiction." Then I walked out. My phone exploded with texts. I didn't read any. I drove back to Mom's grave and sat in silence. An hour later, Tom showed up. He looked like he'd aged 10 years. He stood there staring at the headstone. Then he said something that made my blood run cold. "Jake," he said, "I need to tell you something about what else Sarah's been doing. Full story on channel, linked below."